What's going on? My name is Eric Irvine. I am a capital raiser and I am on my way to raising $50 million in the next 5 years to focus on micro family projects. And today, hanging out with my buddy Kaipo to talk about co living and how he is raising capital for the projects that he and his team are working on. So, Kaipo, thanks for joining. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, brother? Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, always,
Always a pleasure. Yeah,
always good to connect, bro.
always good to connect, brother. Yeah.
So tell me what you're working on right now, or what you have been working on the last few months. I keep
Um,
seeing your name everywhere.
so the last 2 months, yeah, Tracy, Dustin, and I, we've been, just in the co-living space. So we've been buying, different type of strategies, right? We bought, buying pre-existing, coming in with a DSCR. We're doing buying conversions, right? So buying, co-living properties and adding rooms, converting them, and now what we're doing now, we're focused on buying. We're buying land, bro. We're doing new development, so we're building ground up en-suite co-living properties in Houston.
In
So
Houston,
we completed our second raise. We just completed and oversubscribed our fourth one yesterday. Yeah.
congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the. I didn't have the backstory, but I saw the some stuff you posted online, and it was all new build, and it threw me off because I didn't know you guys were doing that.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been, Tracy, Dustin, and I, we have a great team. We all come from a different demographic. We all think differently. And there's a bunch of ideas all the time. We're always cooking up something, right? So, we ended up moving towards just the new construction, right? The ground up construction co living. I mean, it makes the most sense for us. It took a lot of work. I mean, we put in a lot of time, building a team and finding just the subcontractors and, the people that we needed to get this done. And, we finally came up with the recipe to get it done. And we're, we're on our second one right now. Our first one is being built. And we just finished our raise on our second one, but we already bought the land on the second one.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And this is going to be our second project going up in the same area in Houston.
Okay. And so, what made you switch from going in and just, from what I know of co-living, you go in, you find a place that has, four bedrooms with a certain number of square feet, we'll say 2,000, but a very generous layout. So you can go in and say, okay, I'm going to cut this up into this way to add three, four bedrooms. Why'd you, I don't want to say go away from that, but kind of find this other avenue, which is just the new build?
I mean, like I was saying, just the dynamic Tracy, Dustin, and I have, and the ideas that comes out of our just, our meetings and discussions is always innovative. It's extremely innovative, and we're always looking at different ways to do things. And we kind of thought of like what would be the perfect scenario, right? And we came up with the idea. We thought, of the idea, and tried to make sure we could find the pieces, and we worked on it for months. I mean, even during our travel to Texas during the past Squad Up Summit, I mean, we was looking at land during the trip, during the summit. Like, we was driving around looking at lots and stuff like that, doing tons of market analysis, finding the right location to do it. And we there's issues with all real estate and co-living, especially when you're adding rooms. You got tear down one wall, you get mold, you adding rooms, it's permitting issues. There's a bunch of things, right? And with the new construction, a lot of times, it's a daunting thing to look at and try and pull the trigger on and say, okay, let's try and build these things from scratch, right? And make the numbers work, because that's a lot of pieces that need to fit in place for the deal to work, right? You need a lot of moving parts. And we was building the team. We built the team, we like the internal team, and then we built the external team, you know, and we had all the pieces, but like there's a bunch of advantages for us, right? So like, you know, it's a new product, it's brand new, you know, it's brand new. And like, for example, it's you know, we're not going to be expecting no capital expenditures, you know, early on. We can see, we see our investment, we know where the numbers are at, you know, due to it being a new build. And you know, we were able to find one design that can keep all of the tenants happy, right? So for instance, the two that we're building in Houston right now is 10 bed, 10 bath, and they're all en suites, right? So they're 3 levels. On the first floor, you have a full kitchen, 1 laundry. Second floor, you have a kitchenette. So there's another fridge, microwave, counter, and cabinet area for, you know, just the people on the second floor. And the third floor has that kitchenette as well, but another laundry. So you know what I mean? It really provides, you know, comfort and, you know, to the people staying in there, right? And the en suites are nice, man. You know, you got your own bath in your room, and you know, your own beds, and we furnish it as well. And I mean, another issue that we could solve was parking, right? So now that when we buy the lots, we set the home on certain, you know, strategic location in the lot, right? Usually off to one corner, and we get permitted to, you know, we create driveways. Like, so we extend our driveways so we can get vehicles in there. And a lot of times, depending on the layout and the street location, of course, we add another slab on the side that can fit more vehicles. So we was able to solve for that as well. And yeah, I mean, a lot of those, there's a few other things, but that was kind of like the main ones, right? Just providing one new product that people really going to enjoy, people going to like, and people going to be real comfortable in.
Yeah, because I imagine in a lot of co-living houses, and I'm making this up, you know, or just assuming that you go in there and you could have a room that, you know, has an old fireplace in it, or a boarded up, I don't want to say boarded up fireplace, but something that used to be there, or just kind of feels funky, right? It's not like the exact experience that you would want. So you guys are going in and making it very, very custom, or very repeatable, I should say. And it's focused on, you know, the end user, you know, your tenant, and making everything absolutely perfect for the co-living model. So, you know, they have the parking spot, they have access to their laundry, their kitchen or kitchenette, whatever it is. Like, it's built out specifically for this, which is going to be so much more attractive than seeing that, you know, 1950s farmhouse that used to have one family in it that now has like 8 people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we also, you know, Houston, the location, we decided on Houston because it's a really liberal, their permitting and zoning requirements is real, it favors, you know, co-living, the model. Like, you can build a lot of things in the city limits that you can't build anywhere else. And I mean, it just made sense for us. And our project manager, our full-time project manager, he's from Florida, but he flies, I mean, he's flying actually today or tomorrow. He goes and he checks on the subs, you know, contractors, and ensure we're, you know, tracking and stuff like that. And I mean, the location, just Houston in itself was a big deal as well. You know, we did a lot of market research for that too. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so I imagine your project manager had maybe an existing relationship with Dustin, and
Yes.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, that's awesome.
Dustin, him and Dustin. I mean, so our project manager, yeah, he's tons of experience. I think he's done about 60, you know, builds. So he has a lot of experience, and I mean, he just made sense. And we do have a large team though. So like, we have a full team as well. And I mean, I cannot, you know, lean on that, you know, put that out enough, right? So like, other than Tracy, Dustin, and I, we do have a full-time ops manager, project manager. We have lending liaison. So we have one of our guys, you know, Luke. He just handles everything to do with the loans, construction loans, DSCR loans, EMD. Like we have everything lined up for each deal. Like we got the people squared away and everything lined up for each deal, and he just tracks and monitors all that. We have our asset manager, who Audrey, she works for Pad Split too, so we kind of leverage her Pad Split, as her W-2 in for just market analysis and stuff like that, right? And we have fractional CFO on board, and a bunch of them, like, so fractional CFO is from
I met her.
well. Rhonda, yeah.
Yeah, she's from Kauai, yeah.
Yeah, she's from Kauai. She lives in Florida now, but
Yeah.
so we have, we have just a full blown team. Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
company. Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing all you guys and how it's come together, and then now knowing that the operation is like, so much bigger than what I had anticipated. So, it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It's a big team, and I mean, a lot of moving parts, but we make it work. Yeah.
Nice. And so I imagine with this, with the design that you guys did at this new build in Houston, you're going to be able to repeat that. Yeah. Like you probably structured it in a way that maybe you have to make some minor tweaks here and there, depending on the neighborhood that you're going into. But for the most part, that's the blueprint. That's the co-living, whatever. The design.
So we have. Yes. So we have 2 master plans. So that the plans is already approved by the city. So we got master plans for those builds. So we already have the plans, approved, basically, and that's one of the advantages we have, right? We already got the plans approved up front. We can use it for X amount of time. So whenever we find one lot, we just get those plans approved for that specific lot. So we don't have to kind of, repeat call just the engineers, you know what I mean? Architect and stuff like that. We do have another 9 bed, 9 bath plan as well. We haven't used that one yet, but I mean, we have it in our arsenal, so we can use that plan as well if it makes sense. But everything was, we kind of got everything locked, all front loaded, ready to go. So there's a lot of work and planning and preparation to get everything aligned, right? So now we pretty much, a lot of just the activity and the things we do would be marketing and raising capital.
Okay, so
let's kind of just.
Right? Yeah, that's great. So let's touch on that, because I know that's your raising the money is your main focus. And then earlier you said that you guys overfunded or oversubscribed for this last one.
For all of them, actually, we've oversubscribed for all of the deals we've done as a team. And we've done 1, 2, 3. We've done 4 in fractional. And we also raised outside of fractional as well. That one, it depends on the deal. And we raised outside because we had a short fuse. We had a short close date, so we just jumped on the phone and ripped some calls, Tracy, Dustin, and I, and to get the funds raised. But I mean, so there's a lot of work with regards to putting the deal together and the marketing, right? So we actually, one person that is important that I forgot to mention as well, and he's in Owners Club as well, is we do have Will Castillo.
Yeah.
He's our marketing guy, so he runs all of our CRM, he does our drip campaigns and all of that stuff. And I mean, there's a bunch of functions that creates the funnel, right? So there's a lot of, we come up with the idea, we send out the drip campaigns, right? All of the campaigns brings all the potential investors back to fractional, or to at least our office hours maybe, or Q&A calls, and allows them to see what we're doing, right? We nurture for a while, and then when those deals are live, when we do lock something up and we have a deal and we have to raise, we already have a set bunch of people, and it's people from the sub 2 community and outside, so it's wide range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We also have an outside Facebook group as well, just for our, you know, the co-living, our investment team, right? So, you know, we kind of created everything in harmony. And when
Hmm.
the deal is ready, we bring everybody to the deal, you know, present the deal, and then we raise in fractional um, and off fractional as well, you know, because you can present in and you might not have as much people, or people might just come to check it out, but you still have to jump on the phones and close too. You know
You
what I mean?
you
You've
would
got,
mention that, yeah. You're
yeah,
either at that point. I mean, some of them will commit then and there,
yeah,
but you would consider all of them like very warm or hot leads.
yeah,
So then you got to start hammering the phones and
yeah,
making sure they don't cool off.
yeah. I mean, when Pace started doing fractional, he did a couple times, and then we got in. When we first got in, Dustin and Tracy taught the co-living semesters course as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was a bunch of eyes on them too, because you know they're our two main marketers, and they raise capital and they close too. Like, you know, we all do. We got, even everybody on our team, you know, one way or another brings one leads to, and we raise capital, right? But they brought this big, you know, group of people through the initial funnel, and fractional was new, so it was easier. You know, you was able to close on the call. You had people kind of closing on the call, but you know, now it's kind of spread out. There's, you know, a bunch of us raising on fractional now, and everybody's in tune with fractional. So yeah, it's more of a consistency, you know, instead of just from one call close type deal. You still got to work leads after the deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
is
you've
normal.
seen,
Yeah,
yeah, but you've seen fractional make that transition, or at least the opportunities that have been on fractional when you
big
guys
time. Yeah,
first started and you had, Alexis Morgan and your co-living stuff, and then maybe something from Pace. So there were only so many options, and now anybody who has an idea creates a page
yeah,
and can do it. So there's a lot more opportunities for investors to get involved in.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great though. It's a great opportunity, you know, platform for, you know, people starting off or not sure how to, you know, just take that next step or create a pitch deck and stuff like that, right? So the thing with fractional is their team will contact you, and they'll help you through the process in the beginning. You know, they'll
Yeah.
give you templates, they'll, you know, give you best practices and ideas and ways to do things, but you can take that and it's going to manifest to your own thing with your business culture and all that. Like, so we completely moved everything around that, you know, to maximize, you know, to help out our audience, right?
Yeah.
To better see the deal and explain things. But it's like a good template, and it's a
Mhm.
confidence builder for people who's just trying to get in. Like, hey, you know, I have all these tools now to, you know, bring people to my deals and to potentially, you know, raise capital and get my deals, you know, funded and stuff like that. So
That's
it's a
great.
great platform. Yeah.
What's been, since that's kind of being, diluted a little bit and there's, a lot of people in there, what's your strategy outside of fractional? Who are the main people you're talking to, or conferences you're going to, or what's the demographic of people that you normally reach out to to gauge their interest and get some participation in these
Yeah.
deals?
So this year, other than the conference that I went to outside of the sub two community, was I went to the SDIRA summit,
Yep.
at Sorensen Summit in Austin, and we got some, you know, return on investment from that trip for sure. We got some investors, you know, in some deals from that trip, but things like that, right? I went to that one. Tracy is going to be hitting a bunch this year, you know, outside, and we're actually talking about, you know, strategically sending her to some of these, because Tracy, her background is a teacher, so like she can talk, she can teach, and like she's so strong in that area. She can have a conversation with somebody, and she's real eloquent with her words, and
Yeah.
she can explain things very well. So we're going to be hitting a bunch.
Kind of,
SDIRAs for sure. Yeah.
yeah. I was just thinking, like, you guys, you look at the demographic of the conference or the event that you're going to go to, and then you just pick between the three of you. Yeah. It's like, who would best fit in this situation?
Yeah. I mean,
it's good.
Tracy and Dustin is more of the, just the marketing, the outside face. They create tons of content. Most people know them a lot. Like, they're teachers in the community. They provide tons of value. They're on a bunch of podcasts and stuff like that. And I mean, they're really helpful. Like, they truly are, like, behind the camera, like, people who really want to help other people, and they're sincere with what they do, and it does come off naturally. People see that, so they're like those connectors, right? They connect a lot with other people. I would consider, like, for me, I'm like a little bit in the back, kind of looking at systems, processes, making sure everything makes sense, and creating the fractional pitch decks and talking through them and ensuring that we're going to get the positive responses from it. And if we don't, like, hey, let's go back and review and see what could we have changed. Was the talk too long? Did it take us too long in this section before we set our hook? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to look at after post project presentation, right? There's a lot to look back and say, hey, maybe try this, try that. And we always, trying to see what works and what doesn't. And I think that's what makes our team, good too, is, we look at different options, and we do, we self-audit. We audit the things that we've done, and we look at, how can we improve. We're constantly doing that deal per deal. Like, and we intentional about it. So we look at, okay, we did this, and this is what the result, but what can we do better, right?
That's awesome. Do you have, like, certain metrics that you're trying to hit, or is it you're just kind of feeling it out? Like, we didn't get quite the response we were hoping for, or I could have done this aspect of the pitch better, or I don't know. Tell me about that.
I mean, the metrics. Our goal is to. Our main metric is we want to close. We're closing one deal a month. That's the main. Yeah. That's the goal. We close one deal a month, right? And we're on track with that, and everything else is still in R&D. You know what I mean? So, like, we're looking at what works and what's not, and also, like, just the software analysis, almost like a market analysis, right? Like, looking at fractional and looking at other deals and watching what's going on in there and being aware, like, hey, we cannot, this ain't working anymore, right? So just, take that and ensure that we use a different strategy moving forward, right? On how we raise and how we close. Yeah.
That's good that you're just staying on top of it, constantly evaluating what has worked, and then move on, be it from fractional or from, the conferences or whatever, and just constantly moving to best, like, fit your needs.
Yeah, and I think with the team as well, and also, like, our team, we all have our specific lanes, right? So, Tracy, Dustin, and I, we're the visionaries. We come up with all the ideas and all of that stuff, and we do have roles and responsibilities in the business as well. But we do have other team members, like, that is handling, making sure other, pieces of the business is running, is operating, and staying on track, right? So, like, it allows us to just focus on our main thing, come up with new ideas, and continue to execute, right?
Yeah, that's great. So you'd mentioned the SDIRA conference with Matt Sorensen.
Yeah.
I think you and I last spoke. When we last spoke on the phone, you were, like, about to go to that, and you said it was, it paid off going. So what was that like? I mean, I looked into it, I think, right after you told me, and then I realized I had missed it by, a few days.
Yeah. I mean, that was my first time going. And I looked into it, and I ended up buying the ticket and all that, and going. I looked at it, maybe the end of last year. I was thinking about, looking at finding different demographics and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was doing deals, on other deals, not in the co-living side. And there was a bunch of people using their SDIRAs. And I wanted to learn more about that, because those individuals, they were coming in with a higher threshold. They could come in with 50, they could come in with 100, 150, right? So I was like, I should go kind of check it out, right? And Tracy also has 2 SDIRAs herself that she owns. So yeah, I went to check it out, to just go scope and network and meet people and whatnot. And there were other people raising capital there, like similar to, the reason why I went there. And I don't know if they helped sponsor the event, but they had booths there. And they got, Matt actually promoted them, talked about them, and said, hey, so-and-so got a deal at this booth, so-and-so got a deal at this booth. So I was like, oh, snap. There was and most people was, they had funds in the SDRAs, but they was going to the booths, right? So I just was able to kind of network with people one-on-one, and, met maybe, it was a 2-day event, and I went VIP as well. VIP, you can go to the extra dinner, you can go to the, just the drinking hour after, and the bars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
just an extra access to people.
The extra access, yeah. So I went and hit all those, so came home with, maybe 40 solid people, right? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And had a bunch of them invest. I think only one of them invested into the co-living deal too, but I had a couple more invest in some other deals outside of co-living.
So it sounds like the participants or the attendees of that event are people with SDIRAs who are looking at how to use that money to do more, right?
Yeah. So
you're not necessarily, it's not a bunch of fund managers or like a bunch of like Matt Sorensens who are out there learning about SDIRAs. It is people who have cash tied up in those and looking, hey, what can I legally do with this money?
Yeah, I would say it was maybe, if I would have to guess, I would say at least 60-65% of the room was that people. Then there was other people who's already investing like heavily with the SDRAs, and there was more sophisticated. So there was just at the event, learning with Matt, and then there was I would say maybe only like 15% was syndicators. Only 15% of people had deals. 20, yeah. So even even if you guys brought your deal, right? Like one actual deal. Like next time I go, like if we got, I'm thinking we should bring one deal. Like Tracy and Dustin, like come in with a deal or try and get more eyeballs and exposure somehow at those events. That would be great. But majority of the people were, retiree age. I would say middle age, middle to little, older. Just they got money sitting in there and they invest in other places as well, but they're looking at different options, right? Yeah. So it's prime time. It's a great era, and the people are interested, right? So like most of the people I talked to, I didn't even run into one person that had one deal as well. So kind of like when we go to our events, a bunch of us got deals, right? And we all kind of arrange like, hey, we got this, we got that. Like, hey,
you can spit and find a deal. It's like,
we're always raising. So when I went to that event, other than the people who had the booths that was syndicating, every seat dinner that I sat at, or when we went out to the happy hour, right, was just normal, people with SDRAs that had funds to deploy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, we'll share a room next year. I'll go with you.
Yeah. We're looking at the next one already. Yeah, it's cool, man.
Wow, I got to check that out. That's going to be my first thing to see when that's happening next.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, there's some
Um,
other ones too we're looking at, but that one for sure was real good. Yeah.
that's awesome. All right, so you got a few conferences. You got fractional. Anything else, or is that just kind of like the main avenues for you right now?
Yeah, that's the main avenues right now. Yeah, what I've been working on and focused on
Yeah,
with
that's awesome.
our team and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, dude, I'm so happy to see like how you guys have progressed, and it's been fun to watch, and now hearing kind of like your approach, and taking some nuggets and seeing how I can incorporate it into what we're doing and the capital that we're raising for our projects. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I appreciate the time.
It's
If somebody wants
always a
to,
pleasure, bro. Yeah.
yeah, if somebody wants to get in touch with you or invest in some of the the co-living properties, how do they get in touch with you?
I mean, you can just hit up my email. Just email kaipo at akamai-properties.com.
Okay,
And I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. My handle is my name, Kaipo Cordeira. Yeah. Hit me up in there. Yeah.
awesome. Well, again, always a pleasure, buddy. Look forward to seeing you, and thanks for your
Thank you,
time
my
today.
friend. Cool, bro. Thanks.